like a death stance, I think you get not a death stance. If you can go towards that early magic resist, I think you're in an okay spot, but just going to go for the Mbessa, looking to see if he can carry from that top lane.
Yeah, going to be going towards the Mbessa, and there is quite a bit of setup, so there are some...
Stops that hook shot.
This is actually huge, though, because he used the steadfast presence, and Jarvan is coming, so he won't have that now as Kanavi's coming in.
Kanavi ready to make the play here with the bottom side. Isles trying to get enough distance, but he does get caught by the EQ combo. Tries to tackle Kanavi away, but no! First blood over to Gumayusi.
Berserker tries to get something back. And that's why the early kill for Gumayusi is a little unfortunate for Lyon, because it does give the tier to the Ziggs to enable him to push significantly more, which opens up Delight to move more. Even now, that early dragon going across the HLE, this has become such a strong stacking combo in this meta. Get two dragons.
In the years since then, which is incredibly impressive to me, to be able to just advance and advance and advance in your career.
Well, now we've got another play coming up here in the top side as Dokla tries to use public execution to get away, but no! Decimating smash into the follow-up from Kanavi. And now Isles and Saint trying to get something back, but they found themselves trapped in the Cataclysm. HLE still got a 3v2. Decimating smash finds another. Isles is killed off by Delight's Ignite, and HLE are burning bright in the top lane.
Oh, trying to get one more Inspired!
Inspired goes in for the dive on Kanavi. He wants to get something, but he has to trade his own life to do it. And HLE come out on top. It's going to be so difficult for Lyon to punch through him as HLE have started up the grubs. First grub going to be secured here by Kanavi. As Lyon arrives on the scene, HLE will walk away.
Yeah, Kanavi didn't have the flash, so a little bit nervous to stick around as Kiana's ultimate was just about to come back off cooldown. So Lyon able to bully them off the creep, should be able to pick up two of the Void grubs and just try to position themselves further on this top side to enable Berserker to catch the wave.
One thing I will say, Sion obviously is a brick wall, but they do have some ways to deal with it, particularly Isles and his ult. If you can actually knock someone like the Sion out, if he's going for a Q channel, you knock him out of the fight, all of a sudden, all of the targets are pretty juicy.
Very difficult to potentially make your way forward. Saint trying to approach here on the left side. Inspired over the wall, goes in for supreme display of talent, but Inspired is killed first. Gumayusi with the Mega Inferno Bomb. Isles trapped inside the Cataclysm. HLE has lost their support, but they've killed the enemy
that set up that win.
No, and I completely agree. I mean, this is something that whoa, we're going to see a fight.
Oh, Dokla goes in for the public execution, wants the solo kill onto Zeka, but Delight is ready to try to stop him. Dokla's all the way underneath the turret, and he grabs the kill. Hextech Ultimatum keeps him underneath the turret for so long that Delight gets one in trade. It's a one-for-one. Gumayusi, and the zone control that Ziggs provides is a very tall task for Lyon as Dokla trapped underneath the tier 1 turret up here. It's a 4-man play coming out from HLE, and it's way too easy. Kanavi takes survive, scatter the weak into the unleashed power from Zeka, takes the enemy support down to 10% HP as HLE calls in the cavalry and looks for a counterpunch. Gumayusi going to throw a bomb, won't get a whole lot out of it. Realm Warp to try to get Saint away, but Isles is already down. Mega Inferno Bomb yet again, but one is going to be traded back by Lyon. Delight about to die here too. Saint's going to take the kill, and Lyon have a 2-for-1 so far. Zeus and Dokla both arrive into the fight as Dokla continues looking potentially for an opportunity here. The Rift Herald down to half HP, and Lyon have control over the objective.
And that is massive. Isles with such an aggressive play. I don't think HLE were expecting that because Isles was on 10-20% HP, gets the flash stun into the Kiana ult, the Jhin ult opens up.
We will trade one, but we will get two. And it's kind of been the story of how they're trying to go for this just far, and it's working out relatively well for them.
Lyon are going to secure the first turret in the top lane by focusing on that because they know that HLE want to go for the third Drake now. Jungler and support nearby. Kanavi and Delight spotted out now as Zeka pushes forward towards the tier 1 turret. Isles, nice use of the steadfast presence as now they want to go in after Kanavi. The damage comes through and Kanavi dies, but he trades his life for Inspired. Both junglers already out of the picture as Gumayusi's going to get caught. The public execution lives up to its name, and Gumayusi falls.
Grab this dragon. They focused onto Inspired. They forced his flash defensively. Isles has been so quick on the reactions. They tried to burst down Delight, but next, that'll be another big one. Guma at this point in the game, I'm thinking is probably just going straight towards Roa.
Delight tries to go in for the dive. Berserker gets himself away for now, but there's your Mega Inferno Bomb, and Gumayusi torches him. Now Zeus has to try to get out of the way of the turret as Isles uses the Keeper's Verdict to knock away HLE as the remaining players try to escape. Isles still here on the front line, but he and Dokla have to try to fall back. Kanavi goes further forward as Dokla tries to stand and fight. Inspired and Saint can't provide enough damage, and the dust settles as a 1-for-1.
Zeus' health bar is just too tanky to get through. You end up with a pick onto Berserker and the
Diggs and Syndra is so difficult for Lyon. HLE knows it. They're grouped up here in the mid lane, and Saint is caught. Hextech Ultimatum will seal his fate, and the Mega Inferno Bomb burns his bones.
It's just gone. They've got us. The soul is theirs.
It's a beautiful play there. Delight setting it up. Hookshot flash catches Saint, and Saint gets destroyed there. As we see the Dragon hope for Lyon is one-shotting one of these carries because they are going full damage here. None of them working towards that Zhonya's at all so far. And so that is your hope. You're not going to find that angle, and HLE have been turning off the lights.
Yeah, Isles discovered by Kanavi here in the jungle. HLE bringing in some backup. Kanavi has to try to disengage as Guma just throws Isles right onto the minefield with the satchel. Do they want to try to challenge for this? Inspired wrapping around behind the enemy red buff as Zeka and Gumayushi try to keep everybody else on Lyon, zoned away. Delight trying to mark Inspired, make sure he can't jump into the pit and look to steal the Baron. Delight with a hook shot, Inspired stunned up. Gumayushi's very low, stays alive for now, sidesteps Deadly Flourish. Inspired with the kill on Delight, but now HLE's gonna try to run. The teleport arrives from Isles. He's in the middle of everybody, he flashes away here with a steadfast presence, tackling right back into HLE. Damage over the wall from Gumayushi. Isles is already down yet again, Mega Inferno Bomb forces resurrection out of Inspired. Dokla dies, but Zeus follows. The zombie's gonna reanimate as Berserker's gonna try to deal with Kanavi and Zeka. Kanavi's gonna lose his Guardian Angel as Zeus' dead body pulverizes Inspired. Saint tries to get away. Zeka, Guma, Kanavi.
Still life in them, but it may have just been stuffed out.
And you could see in the damage recap there the big difference between the bottom lane carries. As Dokla and Delight get into a bit of a scrap, Isles already down below half HP. Delight should die. Hextech Ultimatum isn't going to do a whole lot as Zeus arrives in now with the teleport. Immediately rejected with the Keeper's Verdict. Kanavi goes in for the massive 3-man engage, followed up with a Scout of the Week. Berserker at least gets the kill. Kanavi is down. Dokla's in the middle of two. Zeka takes him out alongside Zeus. The double kill for the Syndra. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but Lyon's health bars are critically low. Gumayushi and Zeus continue their push.
They can go for this bot lane tier 2, still make it worth for HLE. Lyon trying to see if they can find any moment to get a pick, but just being turned around thanks to that TP from Zeus.
It absolutely is, and every time you think Lyon might have a chance, you have to look.
Got this mega fed Ziggs as you're pushing the enemy base, and these satchels will obliterate turrets.
Yeah, I really think this has been one of the strongest versions of HLE we've seen, with the Ziggs for Gumayushi so safe. He's been so potent on it, and Delight being able to move around
Elder.
the Camille, but
Lyon's
they've stuck him behind.
Away Elder here. We'll see if they can actually finish it. HLE don't know yet.
This is a wild gambit coming out from Lyon. As Kanavi has approached,
so
Saint Inspired looking to put the damage here onto the objective. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top of the objective. Bounty is going to be claimed. Elder secured now for the Lion side. Saint trying to get himself away. Dokla dives in and he finds the first kill. Gumayushi's caught inside the steadfast presence, but he flashes over the wall. He's going to be taken out. Public execution coming out from Dokla. Lyon on the hunt looking for a little bit more, but Zeka goes in with the unleashed power. Kanavi is taken low, slammed back into the wall by Isles, and they will execute him with a Dragon's Roar. Zeus and Zeka getting away. Champions. Lyon are going to have to execute perfectly if they want a chance, but Berserker has already lost half his HP. As Inspired's going to be your target up here on the top side. Kanavi goes in after him. Inspired fighting inside the Cataclysm, getting away for now. Zeus charges in. Isles is about to die. Gumayushi's already found the first kill, and Inspired is locked up. He's knocked out of his Guardian Angel, and Lyon are trying to run. Berserker's bullets do nothing in the face of HLE. Zeka is dominating, and Lyon is crushed. HLE pushing for the throat.
HLE saw their target. It was Inspired when he showed on top wave, and the rest of Lyon are falling as HLE want to take it.
Berserker is nothing but a golden trophy for the LCK #1 seed. All 5 players stand tall. They will march to the Nexus. They will bulldoze the Nexus turrets. And after a 39-minute battle, HLE take game 1.
What a back and forth for there. Gragas would be cool. Gragas is something that is very hard to punish in almost any lane. And I'm looking at MF. I'm looking at Orianna. I'm looking at champions that are potentially very easy for Gragas to get in on. And there is a ton of go buttons here. Alistar, Gragas, Lee Sin have spotted. The play not as clean as they would have liked. You know, they were trying on the initial trade that Saint was going for to get his 6 and go for the all-in with that gank. But now Saint does have to be a little bit careful here as Zeka has Shockwave and has the power to send Saint packing.
Yep, Kanavi also working on taking this first Drake. It's ever so slightly slower than
HLE are trying to beat them to the punch and start this immediately.
All right, Grubs have already begun. here for Kanavi. He will smite down the first one. Lyon shows up. Inspired flies in. Wants to grab this grub here. Should have no difficulty doing it. That one is secured. 1 for 1 so far. Isles trying to keep Kanavi away. Wants to try to get the stun here. Paranoia right back towards him. There's no unbreakable will here for the Alistar. The Shockwave's not going to find anybody here just yet. Bullet time over the wall coming out from Gumayushi. Hanwha Life are looking for some kills. They haven't quite found them, but Isles is trapped behind enemy lines. The only thing left to choose is who gets first blood, and it's the man with the gun in his hand. First blood over to Gumayushi.
Lyon tried to play it slow. You end up looking at the Alistair, doesn't end up using that auto attack into the spell shield of the Nocturne.
Right, but Inspired and Lyon are going to be the side to start it up first, but Kanavi's hanging out over the back side of the wall. Zeka also has the Shockwave ready to go, so keep your eyes out for the combo. Dokla with a nice knock on Zeus back into the turret. Meanwhile, the team fight down here with the bottom side river at the same time. The Paranoia is already going to be used. Lyon's got to be careful here, focusing down on towards the junglers instead, but Kanavi is going to die to Berserker. The first kill goes over to Lyon as Berserker gets a double kill. HLE's on the run as Delight and Gumayushi try to escape. Isles on the chase here. Finds the auto attack for the stun. Meanwhile, up at the top side, Zeus looking to find the dive on the Dokla. Nearly kills him off here with the Glacial Storm. Dokla stays alive. Zeus is not. Follow-up auto attack stun. Inspired hanging around right behind him. Wants to at least steal away the big Krug here. Inspired and the rest of Lyon now. They found Kanavi inside the jungle. He pops the Paranoia, trying to keep himself alive. Kanavi down to 1 hit. He tries to get away over the wall, but Saint is ready to assassinate him, and Lyon find a kill. They still have a 500 gold lead as a team, but Lyon is here ready to challenge yet again. HLE already have it down to below half HP. Isles here on the side, wants to try to control Delight. Knocks Zeka back over the wall as HLE try to turn onto Dokla instead. Putting a lot of damage here into the Gragas. The Rift Herald is going to be secured by Lyon as Saint and Isles have to try to get back away. Saint jumping in, wants to go grab a kill, and he gets one onto Zeus. Now Isles with a 2-man knockup. Bullet time over the wall takes him out. Kanavi trying to get away as Inspired goes in for the big kick, but he doesn't find a kill. Berserker wants to follow. Gumayushi falls. Saint in the middle of everybody. Lyon smells blood.
The miss was perfect, but look at the top side. HLE looking for the play, so Lyon respond on boss.
Yup, Lyon want to make the move here in the bottom lane. Zeus trying to get himself out of that one. He has the egg, but it's not going to matter. Isles just absorbs the last turret shot, makes sure his allies take no damage. The kill goes over to Lyon, and they're going to get the turret on top of it. Yes, HLE is pushing here in the top lane, but bottom side, the turret's already been claimed, and the Herald is summoned up to try to make a move towards the tier 2. Now Gumayushi trying to push the tier 1 turret here in mid. Dokla wanted to clear out the wave, trying to get away for now, but the fear is already procced, and HLE have found a target of their own. They collapse and find the kill onto Dokla. Meanwhile, here in the bottom lane, that tier 2 is under pressure from the Herald, and Lyon's going to secure that as well.
Dokla trying to go for a big play there. He held the wave and then ulted Guma to be able to take that lead.
And Lyon are definitely putting a lot of resources in towards Saint. Like, even they could have moved to protect Dokla.
Early on in Split 1, in lock-in, were around Saint, and they tried to adjust.
All right, Dokla under pressure yet again. 4-man play coming out from HLE, and Gumayushi peppers him full of holes. Another
changes that Lyon made to try to enable Saint, to put him in a position where he felt confident that he would be the one to carry the game, to not defer to others, to do what is best for him because they believe in his ability to carry in team fights, to step up mechanically, and that is one of the big changes that put them ahead.
Saint going in, looks for that solo kill after Zeka, and he finds it with a perfect execution. Zeka flashes, but it will not.
He's out to safety. And Inspired now is behind him.
Yep, Delight's going to get tagged by Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike ready to follow, but Inspired is not in the right spot. He gets himself away to safety for now, but HLE is on the hot. Paranoia coming out from Kanavi, wants to go in after Berserker, but Kanavi's going to be first to die. Inspired's still alive, but Guma finally finishes him. Zeka picked off to the left side, but he barely gets away for now until the R2 comes in. 3 already dead on HLE, and Isles wants more. Zeus tries to get away with a point-blank Flash Frost. The Crystallize cannot stop Saint. HLE are crumbling, and Lyon take 4 for 1.
Make it 5 because they're going for Baron here. It is
5-man unit. Dokla Inspired keeping themselves safe. The Dragon aggroed, but very low DPS on the objective. True Shot Barrage tags Zeka. Saint still waiting, hiding in the fog, looking for his opportunity to go in. Keep your eyes on Dokla. If they want to try to make a move, he goes for the flash. He knocks in Delight. The Rakan's about to die, but he gets away for now. Here with the shield. The Protobelt plus Ignite might just burn him down. Saint goes over the wall, goes godlike. Delight's already gone. Lyon, they get the single kill on the support, but it's enough to earn them control of the bottom side river and claim Soul Point.
A very quick reaction there from Zeus, gets himself out to safety. He was fast with that reactive flash, but because they caught Delight, because Saint
Anything near what EMEA can.
Absolutely true. I mean, Gragas is one round of spells, and that's his value. That's basically all he's going to be bringing.
Kanavi knocked up into the air there, as immediately now coming right back in, here with the paranoia, but no, it's Inspired! Finding the kick on Gumayushi. Lyon looks for the damage. Massive three-man knockup coming out with a pulverize from Isles. Berserker goes godlike and Gumayushi goes down. Kanavi with the flash over the wall. The cast comes out. Kanavi under pressure from Inspired yet again as the tier 1 turret falls. Saint continuing to dive forward. Kanavi is on the run. Both bottom laners as well as the top laner of HLE.
Has to go back to base. It is 50 seconds until Soul. They're going to get Baron, and they are going to head straight there to try to seal the deal.
Saints Seeker's arm guard was clutch as well. Kanavi immediately tries to jump on with that shockwave combo, but they weren't able to make it happen. We'll see it at the start
Side over here as Lions still continue just waiting for HLE to try to approach them. Sonic Wave onto Kanavi. Inspired not going to follow that one here with a resonating strike. Instead going to turn attention back over to the Drake. Delight over the wall. Sonic Wave collides with the Rakan. The Dragon still at about half HP. True Shot Barrage finds Zeus. Saint goes in. Remember, there's no egg. He already lost it in the previous fight. Zeus is about to die right here, and Dokla takes him out. Revenge for the laning phase as Lyon killing the enemy top laner. Now just want to guarantee they take the soul. Zeka wants to see if there's a cheeky steal, but he's going to be zoned away by Dokla and Isles, and Lyon claim the Hextech soul.
Lyon give him no chance at the 50-50. It is picture perfect play here. They hold their lines. They attack Zeus on the side. They catch him. They burst him down. And now it's a full court press. They're going.
All right, Kanavi wants to full send it again. They're trying to make a move here with the bottom side with a paranoia play, but Saint staying alive here with the smoke. Zeka keeping himself in the stasis for now. Dokla goes after Gumayushi with a true shot barrage over the top. Kanavi is already dead. Sonic Wave resonating strike. Gumayushi on the run. Inspired chases after Zeka. He needs a couple of more hits and he's got him. Lyon just aced them. Lyon are in the base, and Lyon tear the throat out of HLE in game 2.
Lyon are gonna do it. We've got a tied series here against the #1 team from the LCK.
Zeus respawns, but there's nothing the EMEA can do alone. Lyon were down 2,000 gold in lane, but they bring it back. And it just was lost from the very onset of things. This will be probably a more honest showing of what he can do, but Dokla is going to lock in the Gwen here for the top lane against Rumble.
Yeah, so Rumble did get nerfed several patches ago that makes it get painful if you're the Lucian Milio. Constantly getting pushed in, you never really have the ability to push it back out because Lulu can use the Q, but here we go.
Yep, down in the bottom lane, it's Berserker bringing Gumayushi down to 100 HP. Isles continuing to go forward. Berserker! He gets first blood in the 2v2. Isles flashing away from the Kog'Maw body. So that
all-time head-to-head LCK versus LCS has not looked too good for us, let's be honest, but we have had these glimmers of hope in the more recent years. You think about that 5-game series between FlyQuest and Gen G. You think about TL challenging T1 a number of times. You think about that belief that we had in some of these series, and that is what Lyon is trying to recapture.
Saint doing a great job of freezing the wave here in front of his tower. Hasn't gone for the reset. Zeka already TP'd in, but now the play under tower. Saint needs the flash.
Yeah, Kanavi over the wall, coming in with the ball breaker. There's the Q flash to try to get the kill. One more hit from Zeka's gonna get it done. And the HLE, but now Inspired, making his way towards the bottom lane. The wave has crashed into the turret already. Berserker and Isles, once again, looking to make the moves. Gumayushi is taken low. Isles absorbing the turret. Gumayushi killed again. It won't be a 2 for nothing.
Kills now on the Lucian. The early Sheen to a slingshot. Like, you're going to be very much able to continue this pressure on the bottom side, and that opens up things like the Dragon.
Yeah, but now it's a full send coming out. The Fate Seal does just that. HLE solo laners rotate over. They'll take the
It's the chunk because Inspired here is over on the grubs. And does grab that first grub, has his ulti available. Kanavi's is back too.
Okay, 1 for 1 on grubs so far. Third grub still alive. Kanavi should be able to secure this one easy, so HLE's coming out on top.
Kanavi is up 2 full levels over Inspired now. After the kills, after the stolen camps, Inspired rarely gets this far behind.
And that's why I'm surprised that Lyon didn't try and take that fight. They had the push on top. Already Victor shifts across the mid. I honestly expected them to just try and full send with the position they had on the map, but Inspired a little bit wary as he backs away. Now Kanavi wants more.
Yep, that's the level 8 versus level 6 advantage. Kanavi knows Inspired cannot deal with him, and now cease and desist yet again. Wild growth with Gomayushi coming up right behind him. Delight takes the kill, and HLE find their
here in this game.
I mean, when he is at his best, he is so hard to stop. The plays come fast and furious. He's always trying to push that limit, as you're saying. They're tracking you perfectly, forcing plays, creating advantage.
If we get to this next objective, and Kanavi realizing, hang on, I don't have that cease and desist. I don't want anything to do with this bottom lane right now. I'm just going to try and clear it out, make sure I was there to cover any sort of play that happened, but just try and keep this gold influx going in my favor.
Ooh, hold on. Exhaust use here in the top side. Dokla's got the needlework. The equalizer's already been used on the wave. Meanwhile, bottom lane Inspired, potentially looking for a play down here. Top side, Dokla going to be burned low. Zayas with the solo kill, cuts him down. Meanwhile, bottom side, Berserker needs a little bit more damage to try to kill Gumayushi. The turret's going to turn right back over onto Inspired. Breath of Life will not save him, but Berserker's already got the double kill.
Get pressured again.
Yep, it's Kanavi looking to work together with Zayas and find yet another kill here in the top lane. HLE's game plan, focus these solo lanes, get him ahead. Dokla survives for now, but Kanavi re-enters, and Kanavi takes another one. HLE, 1,000 gold.
And giving one over, and that's costly. They're going to look for Zeka.
Yep, Zeka's about to endure a 4-man play. He wants to try to turn it around a little bit here. Soul Unbound has already been used. Fate Seal doesn't get him a whole lot. Zeka taken out. However, HLE's not done. Berserker's under pressure. Kanavi trying to kill him off. Berserker firing back. Kanavi gets the kill over onto Inspired, and the Wild Growth is going to keep HLE going. Lyon are utterly routed, and HLE bury 4. Dokla will at least get one back on Gumayushi over in mid lane as he skips and slashes
onto Guma, which is something for him, but you know, before that solo kill, he was holding even. Then he gets solo killed, then he gets dove, now he's down 2K, and Gwen does not have that utility. The terrifying part, though, is when you are kind of one threat right now. I mean, Saint is relevant.
Over the wall goes Kanavi, and Dokla once again must cease and desist. Zayas unstoppable. Kanavi is anywhere and everywhere at the same time, and he is dominating this third game.
And look at Zeka reading the play. He knows every time they go top, they dive him bot. Zeka just walks mid. He's going to farm up the wolves and say, I know what you were looking for. I'm not going to show up for it. I won't give a kill back this time. But, you know, you need that second threat for Lyon, because otherwise it's going to be Yone ult, it's going to be Vi ult, it's going to be Equalizer all on your head every fight as Berserker, and someone else has to punish.
Berserker now going to be your target. Polymorph tries to get away, but the Fate Sealed again will do its duty. Gumayushi takes the kill to add insult to injury, and now the 1 point of strength for Lyon is cut down. HLE over 4,000 gold ahead as they ram the Rift Herald straight down mid.
The instructional video for Azel's commentary just comes through immediately afterwards. Like, there was nothing that Berserker could do on that one. Now the Rift Herald going to the bot lane. 4,000 gold about to skyrocket for HLE.
I mean, this is just a top side masterclass here. Kanavi and Zayas really running away with the game. Lyon will continue to fight, continue to look for plays, and we'll see if they can find something on the Zayas, but this is a risky dive if they want to go for it.
All right, Dokla's wave going to be cleared out by the Equalizer. Saint shows up, Inspired trying to get in here and make the play. Zayas shoved away out of the turret. Inspired barely survives. Lyon get their defensive itemization for the HLE solo laners as well. Immortal shield bow for Zeka. Inspired going to be the target here for Kanavi. Tries to use the Impale to turn things around and buy himself a little time. Inspired below half HP. Dokla going to be your target. Tries to use the Hallowed Mist, but Dokla's already down, and Kanavi is on a rampage. HLE, they find the pick and earn the Drake.
It's a feint from HLE. They go for the Skarner, but they hit in the kidneys, and it's Dokla who ends up falling as a result. Dragon number 3 for the LCK.
It's just one of 1,000 great plays from Kanavi this game, and Inspired TP from Dokla.
Exactly. Dokla down in the bottom lane, teleport's ready, but Kanavi and Zeka can take down this Baron so easily with just the two of them. Teleport coming in now from Dokla. HLE, they got what they came for. Summoner spell is down. Saint steps forward towards the Baron, but it's already lost its patience and regenerated far too much HP. Berserker Stepped up here in the mid lane. Inspire goes over the wall, finds the slam onto Kanavi, but where's the follow-up damage? There's nothing from Lyon. Kanavi's just fine with Wild Growth. He gets back over the wall. That's Impale plus the Arcane Storm used by Lyon. Only Wild Growth from HLE, as now Inspire looking to find the catch here onto Zeka in the mid lane. Isles grabs the kill. They manage to take out the enemy mid laner. Gumayushi's about to die next. Zeus in the middle of everybody, exhausted. They try to get Kanavi out. He barely stays alive. No deaths on the Lion side. I said they needed a miracle, and that team fight may have turned water to wine.
What a fight there from Lyon out of nowhere from so far behind. They're going to go for the Baron, but Berserker has no HP. I don't even know if he can do this, and Kanavi is still in the area, has Smite.
Okay, Melio very good at keeping his allies topped off. You've got the cozy campfire, you've got the warm hugs. Saint's gonna try to make sure that Kanavi can't get anywhere near this one. Saint goes over the wall, Kanavi trying to get out now, stuck inside the gravity field, turns it right back around with the Vault Breaker, looking at Saint, cease and desist, Kanavi staying alive, Saint outplaying him, and with the ultra.
A big misstep from Berserker, but it's still a brilliant fight, and they're looking for Guma!
We're right back on the live, but Gumayushi's dead! Inspired looking to make it a two-man play as Delight tries to get out. They use the Impale and they found Zeka. He wants to get away, but the bait shield is blocked. Zeka making enough distance for now. Zeus in the middle of everybody, but Berserker kills him off. It's a meat grinder! HLE! They are aced! You can win the game for 90% of the time, but Lyon, find the clutch!
They find the clutch, and they should be able to end it right here, right now. They got the wave!
They're pushing straight into the enemy base. Look at your win chance. Look at the gold cap. Look at Lyon in the base of HLE. They push towards the Nexus turrets. Gumayushi is back alive. Delight in 10. Lyon health bars. Compromised. First Nexus turret. Taken low. Taken out. 3 seconds on Delight. Gumayushi stepping forward. The game's not the entire game. HLE already onto the objective. Lyon stepping forward, but they're doing it slowly. Dokla over the wall. Inspired's on top of the Drake as the calling forces Gumayushi away. The Kog'Maw's already almost down. They go to make the play. Cease and desist coming out from Kanavi, but he will not find a kill here just yet. Berserker is shut down. HLE find a couple of kills. Gumayushi staying alive. Inspired here with the bullet to Zeus. HLE still trying to take the Drake. It is secured by Lyon. Zeka still fighting here in a 1v3. The main character, but Saints executes him. Gumayushi, the only man left alive. Inspired's Impale does pose a little bit of a threat, but nobody is close enough to provide the damage. But now the calling comes out. Zeus on the run. Lyon looking for their angle here to try to end the game. Dokla's made his way in. The Nexus turrets both standing at about 1/3 HP. HLE still trying to escape. Equalizer onto the minion wave.
They're on the towers.
Putting damage onto the towers. Kanavi still trying to enter into the fight. Berserker attacking turrets. Kanavi here in the front line. Dokla goes golden. Zeus does the same. Kanavi is down. Kanavi is gone. The Nexus is gone. Lyon are on match point.
Lyon are
Like, try and go for something that has
But
that
for
engagement.
Vic, why would you save it, right? That's the thing that's making it hard. It could actually be Aurora top. I think it's Aurora top.
Okay.
It's
I
Swain
called the
mid.
flex.
Yeah, so I think it is going to be Aurora top. I think it's going to be Swain mid, so they are moving things around. I think Swain is a tough pick to answer, but it could also be, you know, both. I mean, right now, Zeus...
Isles will find Kanavi about to face check into him, into the brush here. Saint trading with Zeka in mid lane at the same time. They want to make the move on to Kanavi. He goes over the wall, he stays alive. Isles still chasing, but there's no more damage, ready to go. Inspired used his flash there. Kanavi used his own. Flash for flash. Kanavi's forced out of the jungle, and now Zeus hanging on up here in the top lane. Dokla is very low on mana,
no
but
wave.
Inspired... He has all of the charges there in his passive. Dokla's going to just try to use the two the skies, get this wave shoved up as fast as possible. Allow Lyon to try to make the play here. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Solar Snare coming out from Berserker, trying to keep himself safe. Reflects the headshot. Does take a chunk of damage, but up here in the top lane now, it's Zeus going to be your target. They jump in for the Pantheon stun. They get the damage. Zeus is down. Kanavi wanted to come in and try to help his top laner, but instead, Kanavi gets one back. Beautifully done as Call of the Pack gets him away. Lyon gets a trade back again. It's a double kill for Kanavi.
as well, so you end up having a little bit of advantage there, but hang on, Isles fishing for Zeus.
Yep, Isles trying to make a play before Zeus has the Demonic Ascension ready to go. They drop the Ignite, and Zeus is killed a second time. Kanavi wants to get one back in the dark, and Dagger will do just that. Kanavi with a return kill onto Dokla, and the game stays tied 3-3.
Kanavi again, back-to-back games, putting on a clinic here, it feels like. 800 gold lead for him, but credit to Isles, who has been playing well. They're looking for a dive.
Yup, Delight trying to facilitate Kanavi, getting yet another kill. Isles tries to get away, gets a good stun. Delight's gonna die to the turret. Yes, Isles will fall, but again, it's 1 for 1. 8 kills.
Becomes so valuable.
Both supports hanging out up here yet again as Kanavi is first up into the top side. Dokla to the skies, trying to get himself away, but Kanavi, he's got the damage, and he keeps himself alive with Call the Pack.
No one answering that right now. Zeus had that push.
The Bone Skewer, though, does give Inspired time on the Void Grove, so all three, it looks like, going to be going across. A little bit of damage there towards Isles. But now, as you say, Dokla matching bot wave. So Lyon kind of getting the map back, but it is that small gold lead, mostly off the back of Kanavi here for HLE.
And that is all 3 grubs for Lyon, as you called out, you know, the interrupt on
Teleport to try and join in if they need to. And you can see Kanavi already comfortable to try and make that play. Saint just trying to get some poke onto Zeka in the mid lane. But curious to see if they do push Zeka back. Does Saint just walk up towards this top side? It's a big wave, and you got the Pantheon to cover as well.
Yep, that might be the play, but it looks like Inspired and Saint both going to go.
Yeah, because Kanavi was coming from the bottom side of the map, so they're not sure how close he is.
Niles stepping forward here, sees Zeka, does not want to try to do anything crazy. Saint is still very hurt. Inspired jumps into the ulti, going in after Kanavi, tries to take the enemy jungler low. The root from Delight, but he flashes over the wall. Now Zeka's trying to make some sort of a play. Kanavi barely survives, Zeka doing the same. X marks the spot where Zeka's buried in the mid lane.
They have done it all year long in NA. They're very willing to give up a couple dragons and try to build a gold lead elsewhere. And they see that as a very worthy objective.
So despite the vision, Lyon wanted to reset before they really looked for this objective. Zeka in trouble though.
Yup, immediately pulling the boat skewer flash for the dive as Isles makes the kill. But now he and Saint are ready for the teleport to arrive. HLE trying to find a counterplay as Inspired meets Kanavi in the tri-brush. Zeus in the middle of 3 trying to tank with a demonic ascension, but instead he finds himself dead alongside his ally. Both solo laners on HLE eliminated as Lyon finds a 2,000 gold lead. They're not done yet. Isles, Saint, and Dokla still hanging around. Kanavi with 1/3 HP. Bone Skewer misses. Isles won't get anything more, but a 3,000 gold lead for Lyon. Gumayushi taken down to 300 HP there from the Golden Eclipse. Berserker still trying to get away, breaks the tether. There's your ace in the hole. Berserker just takes the damage, fine for now. Zeka coming in, looks to get the kill. Solar Snare to lock him up, flash of the wall. Berserker evades the counterattack.
Huge plays across.
And man, what a performance from Lyon here in the game number 4 as Inspired's in the enemy jungle, wants to jump in after Kanavi. Dives away there with the call of the pack. Lyon steal away the red buff. Sidestepping the vision of Empire. Delight here with the tether as Dokla wants to try to turn it around. Kanavi wants to get away. Dokla's very low. Zeus with a massive demonic ascension. Lyon is forced back, but a nice never move. Saint has to flash out. Lyon in serious danger. Zeka's on the flank, and it's a shutdown over to Zeus. Kanavi gets another, and HLE just killed 3.
Lyon tried to
push. A team that has first move on an objective is incredibly difficult, so Lyon's going to say no. Instead, they summon up the Rift Herald here in mid. They get the charge into the turret, but they won't fully kill the structure. HLE, soul point now for a Mountain Soul in this game that you already said it earlier, Azrael, would be a massive power spike.
I mean, Emily talked about it on the desk yesterday. Lyon seeding
doing a good job on the Lyon side, getting ahead and making plays.
Yeah, they're going to go, though.
Down here in the bottom side, Zeus is your target. Saint, Inspired, and Isles working together to take down the Swain. Meanwhile, up here in the top lane, Doka's going to get dove in a 1v2, and he dies as well. Both top laners, the targets for the enemy hit squad.
Nice pick on either side. You can feel how tense it is, and now Lyon want to move in towards this mid lane.
Yep, the wave getting cleared away, but not fast enough. Inspired stepping forward to tank the turret. One more auto attack gets it done, and Lyon are up to a 2,500 gold lead.
So you're still going to get the advantage here for Lyon. They get the mid tower, they will get the bot tower, and at least a little bit of gold back in their favor. And you can see how much burst this Annie Pantheon combo has. Like, Swain, incredibly
in this
strong.
game, other than Kanavi, he's the other player on HLE who has an individual lead. He's got his Hex Optics, he's got his Infinity Edge, and now his jungler's looking to make a play on Dokla. Kanavi gets stunned up, he's taken very low, and they end up killing him here with Isles Execution. Zeus in the middle of everybody here with Demonic Ascension, he's staying alive, he's tanking so much. Saint's gonna be killed 1-for-1 trade overall so far. Gumayushi going in after Dokla, and he finds the kill. Inspired takes Delight with them, but it's a double kill back over to Zeka. HLE are killing everybody! HLE! Berserker tries to flash away, but he falls! HLE!
On the Dragon. Inspired does have his ult. Will he try to send it?
Berserker is not even alive right now. HLE putting the work in on the Drake. They're going to burn it down before Lyon's able to do anything. Isles just killed at the very start. Inspired ults in, but it's into his own demise. Surely the Mountain Soul is claimed. Lyon is routed, and HLE are on the hunt. Inspired will die next. He wants to take Zeka with him, but he loses his Guardian Angel for free instead. HLE, at the time when they had to clutch up most, they do just that. They earn the Dragon.
It was worth sending it to try to deny the soul there. They weren't able to do it.
Now Berserker under pressure from Zeka here in this bottom lane. Yeah, Solar Snare hits. Radiant Volley isn't gonna do it. Zeka with a 1v1.
There's very little that Lyon can now do to get Zeus down.
And it all goes back to that fight at the HLE red buff. Up until then, Lyon was running the show. But against a team like HLE, against the LCK's #1 seed, if you make one misstep, they are going to punish. Dokla trying to push into the HLE base right now, but it's HLE with the Baron. It's HLE with that extra pushing power for the next minute and a half that are just bulldozing through the base of Lyon. They've already made their way onto the Nexus turrets. Gumayushi setting down some traps. Lyon looking for the moment to possibly defend. Zeus taking the recall to go back and defend against Dokla's push. HLE are not done yet. They've already claimed the bottom inhibitor. Now they're looking to go even further. Saint eats the ace in the hole as well as the Between Worlds. HLE have already taken Nexus turret #1. Now they're trying to get themselves out. Isles is low, but he is not dead. Inspired's first to die. Berserker here on the front line. He dies next. HLE will not go quietly into the night. They will find their win. They will take us to Silver Scrapes.
Inspired versus the LC. Jungle's tough though against the Nidalee. Your clear speed is just not that good. I think, yeah, you kind of, like, yes, you will have the matchups to try and play around, but I think Nidalee can just take your jungle so quickly, especially you go low on that first clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, but you're balancing a lot of different things now, right?
Yeah.
So now you are betting your
The X factor in the team fights.
Yeah, exactly. And Saint is going to be getting stronger and stronger here. Guma and Delight looking.
Yeah, Delight goes right on in, just walks up and knocks Berserker up into the air, but a beautiful handshake coming out from Isles. The Shen ulti stand united, but Berserker is first blooded by Delight. Dokla couldn't complete the ulti because he's interrupted by Zeus. HLE coming out on top.
HLE gonna not swap into it either. Kind of moving everyone up to fight for these Void Grubs.
Yep, you can see though, you've still got Gumayushi on the bottom side of the rift. Dokla also taking up his position down there, but he's got no stand united, he's got no teleport, so he won't be able to join for any sort of a fight, so HLE will continue to own the Grubs.
There's the charm hook.
Beautiful charm and the follow-up with the grab. Zeka looking to make the play here on Saint, but he steals the Ahri ulti back away from the Spirit Rush over the wall. Comes Inspired, they get the kill, and Saint stays alive.
Lyon sends up a prayer, and Saint will answer, and now Guma fighting Dokla.
Yeah, Dokla going in after this. Callista needs a little bit more damage, but he cannot find it. Gumayushi already using the Rend. Down to 150 raids against Dokla. Kanavi with his Lich Bane can shoot through this dragon so easily. And HLE, again, it's not a fast first Drake, but it's an HLE first Drake.
But a slow first
Right
Drake.
now, it is full court press for HLE.
Yep, Delight now going to get jumped on by Inspired, who isn't going to full send anything here just yet, but a teleport coming in from HLE. Nice pull from Delight. He's hitting so many of these as Gumayushi tries to save his support. Zeus has already arrived, but Dokla's ready to follow here with the Stand United. Saint also making his way down into the bot lane. Gumayushi barely survived. Saint takes him out, but Lyon's in danger. They've already lost Inspired. They've already lost Isles. Zeus in the front line as a raid boss here with the Aatrox. Q3 won't find the target. He heals up with a massive. Zeus still staying alive for now. Triple kill back over to Zeka. HLE making the plays. Saint barely hanging on. Dokla's still alive for now, but Zeus refuses to die. HLE still looking for a little bit more, and Dokla surely has no way out here. Lyon staring down the barrel of a nearly impossible scenario. Blitzcrank hook fails. They're still trying to look.
Brilliant game with the pressure on him. Elimination series here. There was 2 match points they had to contend with. They barely got by the last one. Thanks
Collapse
to
around Gumayusi. This is where HLE have stood tall in the LCK, is the most threatening LCK representative. Rift Herald taken, the eye left.
And now Inspired just getting caught out. Could be in some danger. Stand United trying to keep him alive a little bit longer. Hostile takeover, finding a little bit of value here as Kanavi is the first to die. Zayas in the middle of everybody, making some space. Inspired dies to Zeka, and it's the HLE solo laners making the difference again. Zeka finally falls, but he's going to take Saint with him. Gumayushi still hopping around as Delight barely got away. Saint coming back in trying to get something, but Doka will not kill Delight, and only Saint and Isles still stand. Saint can't do anything in a 1v3, and Gumayushi executes him where he stands.
Delight again.
the series for HLE, it feels like by far.
Lyon coming in, trying to see if there's anything they can do, but no, instead, it's just another beautiful pull from Delight. Zeka arrives, Saint dies, the bailout does nothing. HLE pushed to the limit here against Lyon, but with the threat of missing finals on the line, they refuse. 8,500 gold lead, HLE 11 kill.
When the chips are down, that's where champions are made, and HLE
Sending it. They know that you're 10K down. You cannot play the game normally.
Yeah.
They're trying to overload one side of the map. They're hoping that HLE gets sloppy, that they can get kill after kill after kill. But here comes HLE.
Yep, Delight finds another beautiful pull. Inspired, about to die. The Stand United tries to keep him alive, but no, Delight with the execution. Zayas arrives, wings spread wide, and Lyon will be buried in the enemy jungle. 3 already dead as Saint and Dokla have to try to escape. Gumayushi, Delight, and Zeka chasing after Saint. No matter how good his Silas is, there's no way out. Dokla trapped beneath 2 turrets is the only man left standing on Lyon. And HLE get 5 for nothing.
And the onslaught that would be the early game here against HLE, but HLE in those critical fights just played better.
and you have to feel for Inspired. This man has pushed the LCK.
Oh, you have to feel for Berserker as well. Even tried to use the exhaust, but Zeka, he's so far
Trying to keep Berserker alive. Lyon are full sending it, and they know they would rather go out fighting, but they have to see the writing on the wall. They have to know that this one is one fight from ending. HLE pushing, they're trying to get gold on the map.
The writing is on the turrets now as Berserker is forced to ult immediately. Delight forcing out that critical defensive ultimate from the enemy AD carry as the bottom lane inhibitor is destroyed 21 minutes into the game. HLE now putting pressure on the mid lane. Second inhibitor about to fall. Delight looking for another pull. Instead just gets the knock up onto Dokla as HLE dog piles in. Dokla's first to die, but he will not die alone. Inspired joins him as Lyon panic and run back to the fountain. HLE will rise to the occasion. They will chase down the last kill in the fight. Zayas will not even fall. North America's dreams are dashed in Daejeon. Lyon are vanquished. HLE are victorious, and they earn their place in the finals. A rematch.